There is that information, the limited and false information that you have learned from your parents, your family, your friends, your lovers, your clergy, and your teachers. And then there is the information that you began to seek in your adult, the desire to come into the harmony with you and you, with oneness with you and all that is. There is that information, and that information is in direct opposition to all of the information that you have been believing from your limited and false beliefs for your entire life. And so I asked then, which will you choose to believe? And the controlling of your thoughts is the controlling of your energy. The controlling of your energy is the platform for the decisions that you will make. From your choices, you will make a decision. The goal here then is to make a decision that is in harmony with the energy that resonates through you, which is your power. Each one of you is powerful enough to walk on water. Each one of you is powerful enough to touch someone in passing and heal them. Such is your power. Indeed, many teachers have come prior in your history to tell you that, but many are having difficulty releasing the false and limiting beliefs that they learned in childhood, and that later on, because it was in their belief structure, they manifested those false and limiting beliefs throughout their experience. So of course, those things must be true because you experienced them. No, they were only true because you believed them, no more, no less. And so your beliefs then become a choice point. And so from here forward, I must ask the question again, what will you choose to believe? Will you choose to believe what you have been taught in the past by those who also were disconnected from their power? Or will you choose to believe the other truth, that you in your own individuality is as powerful as all that is, that you have the creational ability to literally in one day, in 1 second, create the things that you want here, if you could just get in line with that power source that is you. And so from your choices, you will make decisions. Now, how do you know when you're making a decision that is fear-based? And many of you will say, well, that's easy. I'm going to feel anxious. I'm going to feel afraid. I'm going to feel concerned. I'm going to start worrying what other people will think about my decisions. I'm going to start wondering how I will be perceived by those that I love. I'm going to start wondering if I will be alone. I'm going to wonder maybe even for my safety, because I am still afraid of death, which I am only afraid of death because I still don't believe that I am eternal. I still don't believe that I am unlimited in my existence. And so when those times come forward and you are able to pivot your thoughts into the truth, which you will need to do repeatedly until it becomes second nature. And this is what's important. Repeatedly, you must do this until you no longer have to make it your conscious thought. You will have done it so many times that it is second nature. That change in your life, when you encounter it, will no longer be scary. The unknown will no longer be scary. It will no longer be frightening to you. What do you do after you have made the decision? For there are those that are able to make a fearless decision that's in harmony with their state of grace, the natural energy of unconditional love that is flowing to them from all that is, getting to the action. And so let us look at what comes before the action. Your intention then becomes very important. It becomes important for you to verbally express it to yourself or create the mental expression in your mind, meaning you can visualize what your intention is with that choice point. From that, then you must also do the same thing with your expectations, for even those that get far enough in to be at the level where they are harmonizing their intention with their authentic energetic frequency, which is unconditional love, your natural state of grace, will stumble at the level of expectation. And this is where you will find the old habits that will want to flare up. You will have gotten all the way up to expectation, but then you will doubt. You will doubt your abilities. You will doubt your power, your unlimited beingness. And so at that point, then you must also remember that when you are setting your expectations, and you will say this, I have set my intentions to do this. I have an opportunity to grow, and I'm going to choose to grow. It means that I'm taking myself into the unknown. I'm not going to know who I'm going to become. I'm not going to know if I'm going to be in control of all of the aspects of this new path. And I'm not sure how to feel about that. But what I do know is that I am unlimited, and that I can handle anything that I create. And so from that, you can then say to yourself, when you are setting your expectations, I expect that not only will I be able to do this effortlessly, not only will I be able to do this seamlessly because my cooperative components are going to arrive as I need them. Not only do I trust myself that I can create the path that I would like, I'm going to trust my connection with all that is. And here is where we get normally to a sticking point with most of the personalities in the world. Trust. Trust has been synonymized with faith in this aspect. Do you trust yourself? Do you believe that you are inadequate, as people in the past have taught you that you are, which you are not? But do you believe them? Do you trust that powerful, energetic relationship between you and all that is, the thing that connects you to everything on this planet and beyond? If you can consciously remind yourself to trust that, which also takes repetition, which also takes practice, then you will be able to set an expectation that is in harmony with your authentic power. Once you are able to do that, then comes the next checkpoint. And those who have made it through this far may hit a stumbling block here, because now you must take action based on the decision that you made from your choice, based on the intention and expectation that you set for yourself in creating your reality. Now you will actually have to take action. For I have said before, what is action? Action is thought in motion. So now you will have to put your thoughts in motion. And people struggle here because the old fears, the old false and limiting beliefs will rise up again. Here is where others have referred to as your courage, as your bravery. You knew you were coming to forget all that you were, all that you could do, to relearn it again, to have the experience, to add to the expansion of all that is the universe and each other and yourself. We do appreciate your courageous, for here in the action point is the culmination of all of your thoughts in motion. And so then the task here becomes to proceed with the path that feels the most unfamiliar, the most unknown. Because in taking yourself down this path, what happens in your neuronal structure is you will begin then to fire synapses that have never fired before by taking yourself into these new experiences, which will lead you to your growth. That is where it begins in your physical form. When that begins to happen, the cells and atoms and molecules in your body are going to begin to respond to not only the new thoughts, but the new actions that you are taking based on those thoughts. And this is where the mind, body, spirit comes into play in your creating. And so when you get to the action point then, and you walk down a path that is wholly unfamiliar to you, when you are literally walking into the unknown, that's what you came here for. That's the adventure. That's the evolution. That's the expansion. There are those that do not walk down the path of that unknown. And there are many different derivations that are creatively expressed in not walking down that path. There are those that will try to manipulate situations to make sure that they have as much of a safety blanket as possible. And there are certain times when you may need to do that. I am not discounting those times, but for the most part, you don't. Because in your intention setting and in your expectations, you laid the ground for the reality that you would walk. You laid the ground for that safety. You were never unsafe to begin with. And so the action of attempting to create an emotional safety blanket, let me give you an example. Let us say, for those who are single, you are in a relationship with another human, and you are not satisfied anymore, and you would like to perhaps leave the relationship, but you have a limiting or false belief that causes a fear of being alone. And so you stay longer than you should because your fear is keeping you there. What some do in this situation, to give you an example, is some will look while keeping their safety blanket and then not move into the unknown until that has been determined. And the action of creating that safety blanket, that's actually actioning that is reinforcing your belief that you are not safe. That type of action is actually supporting not your intention. That action then is supporting your fear-based, limiting, and false beliefs. And so it's important to understand at this level, when you action, to examine the action from the viewpoint only of your intentions and expectations, your trust in yourself, your trust in your power as a creator, and trusting your relationship with all that is to move into the unknown with confidence, because confidence resonates a particular energy as well.